Hello, and welcome in to another edition of the CatCast with your host, as always, Cat Kennison, to bring you another interesting podcast. Hopefully, anyways, that's the plan. Took yesterday off because I'm trying not to put out so many videos, and because I thought I was doing too much. But we're going to keep going this week. We'll probably do them every day the rest of this week. We did have a little invoice into you yesterday, so I did have some work I had to get done that was pressing, more important than the podcast. But you know how important you guys are to me. You guys are my number one people, and I want to get back on doing the podcast, and that's why we're back again today. It's a fabulous day. We're doing it during the daytime today. I'm going to pick up my cat, my mom's cat, actually, from the vet later this afternoon, so I got to get my cast done now so I can go do that errand for Mom. The cat just had a little constipation, so they're giving it an enema. Thought I'd share that with you guys. Anyways, sure, the cat is enjoying that. Not. Anyways, we've got great topics to talk about today. We're not going to do religion today, though. The government has finally reopened, or they're working on reopening, and we're going to be discussing that topic. We also are going to discuss the Olympics that are coming up. We have the Point U.S.A. Event that took place at UC Berkeley that we're going to talk about. We have 30 years of Bernie Sanders talking about oligarchy. I can't even say the word oligarchy, whatever. He started way back in 93, and he's been saying it all the way up until now, every year, and it still hasn't happened. And I'm beginning to wonder if he's just lying until he dies, because I don't think it's really ever going to happen. So we will talk about Bernie and why he, for some reason, gets all the accolades, even though he's been there forever and has done nothing. But people like him because he's a socialist. A millionaire socialist, I should say. Yep, and he makes no qualms about it. Hey, he needs to have multiple houses. He's a government person, and they have to be in different places. So he's important. You common people are not. You're not allowed to have multiple houses, but he needs to. Understand? All right, what else will we talk about? We're going to talk about the vents at the White House. Instead of just being crappy, little cheap metal, they're now marble. Oh, baby. Marble vents, baby. The White House is looking incredible. But, of course, the Democrats are still going to complain about it because that's what they do. Anything Trump does is bad, no matter how good it is. All right, and we're going to talk about T.D.S. That's always a great thing to talk about. Trump Derangement Syndrome, as it is known. We are fighting for a cure here. We hope that we can get a cure, but we really don't know if it is possible. It's kind of like an alcoholic. Until they accept that they have a problem, you can't help them. And it's kind of the same thing with people with TDS. Until they understand that they have TDS and they want to get rid of it, we can't do a whole lot. But I think this time we might start with the TDS subject, since we just went down the rundown, and that's on the top of Kat's mind right now. So what I want to talk about is Jimmy Kimmel and his wife. And they did a podcast, and his wife is on there, and Jimmy's right next to her, sitting like this. And I felt like his wife is on pins and needles about what she can actually say, because, Jimmy's right there, and Jimmy has TDS very, very much. And I don't know if his wife does, or if she's just deceived by her husband, which could be the case. But the sad thing is, she has a family that is conservative, and she will now shun them or ostracize them because of what her husband does, and actually said that a vote for Trump was like a vote against her husband, which to Kat was strange, because I'm like, he's not running for office. What is he talking about? He has a syndrome about an issue with a person, and he's an entertainer. He is not a political science major. He does not study politics that I am aware of. He just does entertainment, and he's really not even good at that anymore. His jokes are not funny. He's really out of touch with society. Back when he did the Man Show and when he was on When Ben Stein's Money, he was funny. But now, really, ever since he went to ABC, he's become an egomaniac. Thinking that he is like the most important person in the world about what's going on in the world. He thinks that his opinion matters more than everybody else, and that since he has a TV show, he should tell you his opinion, even though he's just supposed to be entertaining you and not doing a serious talk show. So I have many issues with Jimmy Kimmel, but the main one is the way he's causing his wife to lose touch with her family. To me, that is very disheartening. Now, I have some family that does not agree with me in politics, and I just don't discuss it with him. And mainly because one time I was trying to discuss politics with him, and he said if I continued, he was going to punch me, hit me. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm done then. And I pretty much stopped talking politics with him from then on, because I realized that he does not have an objective mind, and he really doesn't like anybody disagreeing or trying to tell their side. He doesn't want to hear it, which that's okay. There's nothing to force him to hear what I have to say. That's why I stopped. I'm like, okay, I don't want to get hit. You're my family, and I'm not, it's not like it's that big a deal to me. I just thought we're traveling, and I knew how much he was into politics, and I got into politics later, and I thought it would be something we could discuss to pass time while we were going on a long car trip. But it turned out that was not the case. And so I now never talk politics with this family member. Now, close to the last election, they tried to talk politics with me, and I talked to him a little bit, and then I just said, listen, we're not going to agree about this. I don't really want to argue with you about it, and I just want to, we have different opinions on it. You have yours, I have mine. The country's going to vote, and the decisions will be made, and there's really no point in us arguing about it, because I won't change his mind, and he won't change my mind, and that's okay. I believe in diversity of thought. It's okay to not have the same opinion as somebody, and I also believe you should not attack somebody for their opinion, unless it's crazy radical opinion, like maybe some of these people that said Charlie Kirk deserved to die. I won't ever support that, because that is basically speaking ill of the dead. And as far as I know, Charlie Kirk never killed anyone, never raped anybody, never abused anyone. All he did was tell other people his opinion. And that is, as far as I know, that's something you can do. It has nothing. It's when you physically harm someone that what you do becomes an issue for Cat. You can say all the things you want, but when you actually start harming a person, that's when Cat has an issue with it. And that's why, again, we're still talking about this T.D.S. problem, because at the TPU, Turning Point U.S.A. event at UC Berkeley, there are people there that will just yell the most vile things at the people that are just going in to hear the speakers for TPUSA to speak. And the people are like saying very, very crude things. I'm not even going to repeat them. You guys will have to look it up for yourself. But this kind of behavior is wrong. You can disagree with people all you want, but you shouldn't be shouting out things like the person deserved to die and you get what you get, and all this kind of stuff is wrong in Kat's opinion, in my humble opinion. I believe that those people should make an argument, go inside like everybody's supposed to do, get up on the mic and debate the policies and not the people, all right? Debate the policies, because that's what we're always talking about, is policy and not people. That's what we want you to do. Democrats don't like to do that. They and the reason is because they can't make their points logically in a debate, because like when you start putting out things like you're okay with killing babies, they don't have a way to defend it. So they'd rather just shout you down and stop you from voicing your opinion because it contradicts their opinion and makes them look bad. And that's what it comes down to. So that's the real issue. I don't know if Democrats are going to get it or not, but their message that they're putting out right now, and Joe Rogan has said it, is atrocious and abysmal, and it makes them look like sick people. And we're not going to stoop to their level ever, but we will make sure our events are secure and safe. And if it has to get to the point where that we have to hire our own security and make sure that the people are safe, we will end up having to do that. And if they just have to basically, zip tie people and move them away from the event and not ever get arrested, but just zip tie them and take them away and just hold them until the event's over and then let them go, I don't care what they do, really. I just want them to stop harming the people that are trying to attend the events. That's what I want. And since they're not being held in jail or anything, I'm fine with them just taking them away and just keep them away from the whole area. Don't let them protest anywhere near. Make them be 5 blocks away for their protest, because what they do now is try to intimidate people. It's not a protest. It's a scare fest. They're trying to scare you into not coming and into not supporting this event, okay? It has nothing with trying to change your mind. It has to do with scaring people into not coming. That needs to stop. And I'm really sorry that nobody on the Democratic side is standing up and stopping this. But the more they sit on their hands and be quiet, the more they look like partisan idiots. And Kat is not okay with that. Nobody should be. My points are unfightable, okay? The people that are doing things are just ridiculous. They're trying to stop freedom of speech, but they claim that they're against fascists when they are themselves fascists. So that's what the Democrats have been doing for a long time. Whatever they do, they accuse you of doing it, but they're actually the ones that are doing it. Jimmy Kimmel is the one that has caused all this hate for his wife by being so over the top in his beliefs. How is Jimmy Kimmel exactly being affected by Trump right now, do you think? How do you think he's being? I don't really see any effect on him as a celebrity. I mean, he got, suspended for a few days? Other than that, Trump has had no effect on him. Let's see how Biden affected Kat. He made everything cost more with inflation, okay? He made us a lot less safe in the world because nobody thought he would stand up for what he said, okay? That's an effect. Whether it actually had a big issue here, it did not, but that's only because he didn't win another term, because it could have really hurt us this time around if Iran got a nuke and they decided to threaten the world with it. So the things that Biden did, much more dangerous than what Trump has done. Trump is trying to bring the economy back to us. He's trying to separate us from China. He's trying to get illegal people out of the country that are dangerous. Any people that are willing to break laws, you just don't know what else they're going to do. So, like I said, they're all breaking laws, okay, that affect us as citizens, because they're going to go to the hospitals, they're going to be using the same services that we're using, and that means less care for the people here. Now, that does not affect Jimmy Kimmel. Everything that Rosie O'Donnell and Jimmy Kimmel and they complain about, none of that affects them because of their wealth, okay? And really nothing really affects them anyway, to regular people anyways. We're much safer, okay? We're looking at getting $2,000 dividend checks back from Trump. We got $600 before. It comes down to people just don't like the man, and they're brainwashed like a cult. And I know I've said it before. So it's very upsetting, and I don't know what can be done about it, because they won't accept that they're in a place of denial. They think we are, and we're like, no, you guys are. The BBC, they don't expect that anything's wrong. I guess Stalmer came out and said he supports the BBC. So he supports liars and misleaders. I really think you guys should have him removed at this point if he's going to stand behind somebody that edits footage to say something that it does not say. We could start editing your footage then and do the same thing. And maybe we should start doing that. You know, I'd like to say some really stupid things and or take some things that they've said and just edit it together and make Stalmer say some really crazy things. Maybe I could do that. And he would have to stand by and support me, right? Hey, I just did what they did. If you support them, you should support me. This is big issues. It amazes me that they make such a big deal about what people say on X and on websites and stuff, that you can't, like, do any kind of hate, but they can put out false journalism and it's fine. Does anybody find that hypocritical, or just Cat? I know, right? This is good stuff, I have to say. So the turning point stuff needs to stop. I don't care if people want to protest, but I don't want it anywhere near the actual building, because they're not going to have any effect on the people going in there. And so just put them somewhere else. Their effect is basically just getting on video, on TV. That's really their only effect. And they can continue to do that. I don't care who wants to cover their protest. But it doesn't need to be outside of the place that the people are going into, because they can't keep it safe. It's been proven now that they cannot do security. So, in my mind, you keep everyone that's going to fight away from that area. You just say, protesters, this is where you have to be. This is where the permit is for, and you have to stay in this fenced-in area. If you don't, we will basically arrest you. We'll put you in a car or in a bus, and we'll just keep you in there until the whole event's over and everybody's left, and then we'll just let you go. And we won't mess with anything else. We will just hold you and then release you, so you can't harm people. I don't think there's an issue with that, because we can hold and detain people for any reason we want. We can say they're crazy if you want. You can do 72-hour psych hold on people. So I'm to that kind of point at this point, because these people are dangerous. They're fighting with people, and it needs to end. And the only way Cat sees it ending is just separating these people that can't get along. And if anybody has an issue with that, please tell Cat what your suggestion is on how to resolve the issues that we have. Because my issue is protesters fighting with non-protesters that just want to attend an event. And my idea is just separate them by 5 blocks, so there is no altercation, to keep everybody safe on both sides. And in my opinion, that is a solution. You can't argue with my idea unless you have another idea of your own. Don't just say my idea is stupid. I'm going to get very upset. Post your idea. If you have no idea, keep your mouth shut then. That's all I'm going to say. I'm tired of people that have no ideas complaining about the people with ideas. If you don't like mine, come up with your own. All right. Let's go to the Olympics. This is exciting. So they've been letting in transgenders in the IOC. That's the International Olympic Committee. And basically, Trump said, if you don't change that policy, there will be no Olympics because it's in our country next time, and we can just shut it down and not have it happen. So amazingly, they quickly changed their mind and have banned trans athletes in the girls' sports, but they've added a transgender field, which I believe is great. Let's have one person compete against nobody and win that field. That's fine with me because there's only very few people. A lot of times there isn't enough in an event to even have two people compete. There might only be one person, so they'll have nobody to compete against, and they can just automatically win it or whatever. But I don't want any American money to go for those medals. I want to make sure that's paid for by however the IOC wants to get their money, but I don't want us paying for that. The reason this worked is because the IOC makes all their money from American advertising, and if we shut down the Olympics, they will make no money, and it will be the end of the Olympics. Because if not for America and NBC, there would be no Olympics. I just want to remind you of that. They pay a lot of money to broadcast that stuff, and that's where all the money comes from. All right? Just letting you know. Another way for them to launder money. This way is how they do it. So they can force things upon people that you don't want. Oh, we sponsor it. What are you getting for that sponsorship? Nothing. Yeah, they're getting something, all right. Let's go now to the vents at the White House. Just a real quick thing I want to say about the marble they put in now. They're beautiful vents in the White House, and if you look at them, they're cross-gabled, very pretty things. They don't look like vents. They look like decoration. It's incredible what Trump is doing with the White House. And I just want to remind people of that, okay? I want to remind people he's making it better, okay? Trump hasn't done one thing to make the White House worse. Look at all that gold in there. Look at the Lincoln bathroom. I mean, the thing has looked better than it's ever looked, okay? So please stop being stupid, Democrats. I'm begging that you stop being stupid, because you're just going to destroy your party, all right? Now, I know everybody thinks that the Democrats won because they won these recent races, but I don't really think you have won. You lost this government shutdown because it's now reopened. Now, you said it was the Republican shutdown, but it got reopened with Democrats voting with Republicans, so it looks like it was a Democratic shutdown. And they never got anything for it, so you basically made people go without checks and food stamps and stuff to just delay the inevitable. And to Kat, that's dumb and foolish. And I'm very ashamed of the far left that wants chaos and people hurt for them to achieve their goal, which is not to help Americans, but to just be against what Donald Trump wants to do. I want you to all realize that and understand it to your core, okay? This is not about helping Americans. This is about them staying in power and their base that is stupid, pushing them to do something that is stupid. And they listen to that base because of fear of that base. Make sense to you? So, it's a very troubling time for Kat, and I do not like it. I'm very frustrated with Democrats. And I was going to do a podcast about this a while ago, and I didn't want to do it because I'm like, I don't want to keep dividing people. But the Democrats keep doing it, and I don't know what to do anymore. You know, I am like, people, just stop with the fighting. Just accept your president, live with it like we did, and when the next election comes up, try to get your person in. But I did not whine and complain like you guys this bad for 4 years. I mean, I was not happy, but I was not doing what you guys are doing. And you guys look like little kids having a temper tantrum in a store when you don't get your way. If we cave in to what you guys wanted, then you would always do this. It would be like negotiating with terrorists, okay? If you negotiate, that teaches them that you will do things when they do bad things. You can never reward bad behavior. What would happen if your kid threw a tantrum and you always just caved in? They would always throw tantrums, okay? I don't know why I have to talk to Democrats like I'm an adult and their children. It's really sad, actually. But they don't seem to know how to be adults. And I seen some ladies on, they just started swearing about people and just, using vile language. Instead of making their points about policy, they just yell and put the other person down and attack them and swear about them, which I don't do. I don't do it. Besides calling Democrats dumb, I'm not doing anything. And I don't know what other word to use. I don't know how to describe them. But they're not doing things that are wise. And it scares Kat. It bewilders me because I want the best for the country. Even when Biden was in charge, I wanted good things for the country. I was hoping Biden would do good things, I never wished bad things to happen. And it almost seems like Democrats are. They want bad things to happen because they think that's the only way they can hurt Trump's approval numbers, I think, or his agenda. And it is so sad that people hate Trump more than they love their country. I am perplexed by that. I don't have that in me. I believe in love. I believe in trying to convince people to come to my side, but I would never try to kill another person for their opinion. I would defend my family's life if they were trying to harm them. But if someone just has an opinion, I just let them have that opinion. But if we have an opinion, you guys want to kill us. I'm lost on that. I don't understand why diversity of skin color, religion, or gender is good, but diversity of thought is bad. I've never been able to understand that. I wish that a Democrat could explain it to me. I really don't think they can, though, because there's really no basis for it, So that's why I'm kind of lost at it. I don't pick on people for their religion. I believe you should be able to do whatever religion you want. I've had many discussions on here with the Muslim people, and they keep wanting to say that my religion is wrong and that I'm supposed to accept their religion. But I can't accept a religion that has a lot of things that we cannot verify in it. I know they believe everything is verified, but I can't even accept Christianity the way I'm told it is when they say, you have to know which one is the true God when there is no way to know. I keep coming back to that point. There is no way to know besides faith and upbringing. There is just, from what I've researched, there's no way to prove one way or the other which one is true. And that's why I've had the biggest problem with it. All right. That's all the time we have for today. We've wrapped this CatCast up right on time. I kept an eye on the clock. I had plenty to say. lots to pontificate about. I hope you enjoyed the show again, as always, and I would love responses from anybody to the show, so maybe I'll have something to discuss tomorrow. I really love feedback. It allows me to play off my viewers and my listeners, and hopefully you get to explain a little bit of your side to Kat, and I try to bring that also to the listeners and the viewers, and pontificate on what you say as well. But I thank you for coming. Please come again. This is your host, as always, Kat Kennison. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Cha-ba-cha, people. Bye now. I didn't hit the right button. Bye now.